freedom versus money. I think a lot of people get this mixed up because freedom is kind of associated with money, but what I mean by that is a lot of people don't like their jobs. They don't like school. They don't want to go there. They want to go travel. They want to just have time off, go do things with their friends. And they think the answer is money, because if they had money, they wouldn't have to work, right? And that answer is a half truth. Yes, you need the money to go do those things. However, in pursuing the money to get freedom, people give up freedom. Does that make sense? In pursuing freedom, a lot of people give up their freedom for money. And you see this all the time, the depressed millionaire, right? The depressed tech guru who cashed out for $1 billion, who ends up unaliving himself, right? It's a sad story, but it makes sense from a human psychology perspective. What those people wanted was freedom. They probably just didn't want to do the norm. They wanted to invent something. They wanted to be different. They wanted a different life than what was normal. They didn't think that would be good for them. They didn't find that enjoyable, right? The grind, the 9 to 5, the working 48 weeks out of 52 kind of thing, right? And so they got obsessed, as you should, right? They got obsessed and they tried their very best to do everything they could to become successful. And in that journey, they lost sight of the purpose in the first place. The purpose of that obsession was so that they could have freedom and not have to work for money. But in the pursuit of not having to work for money, they bought themselves into an even more demanding way to work for money. So, what I'm trying to say here is, if you want freedom, if you truly want money and you just want to be rich, then this video isn't for you. But if you want freedom, make sure to remind yourself to not get lost on the journey. Make sure to remind yourself that the purpose of making money is for freedom, not just to make money. You gotta know when to stop, right? If you build a company and you sell it for $3 million, do you really need to go build another one? Do you need more money? Or do you need to just go pursue freedom at that point, right? Do you really need another car, or do you need a year traveling, right? So my point being, at some point in your life, if you're very ambitious and you do the right things, you will acquire money, assuming like nothing goes wrong terribly, right? Like you get paralyzed or something. At some point in your life, you will be doing well, right? If you do the right things, of course. And once you're doing well, remind yourself why you put in the work in the first place. Remind yourself why you spent 2 years obsessed with content to start making 10 grand a month. Sometimes the reminder is a trip. Sometimes the reminder is something else. Maybe the reminder could just be writing in your journal every day the purpose of making this money. But just remember, the reason you have the money is so that you don't have to work for the money, right? The reason you worked hard for the money is so that you don't have to work hard for the money any longer. The money isn't there as a number, the money's there to be spent at the end of the day. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. If you get successful and you truly just want freedom, try and remind yourself that the money isn't the reason you started, it's the freedom that money buys. Peace.